welcome to or welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan. I'm an antisocial bookworm and I just love everything involving books. I love staying home, going book shopping, and just yapping about books to anyone that will listen. So if you're into that type of stuff, definitely consider subscribing to my channel and I'd be so happy for you to join me over here. Today is my December TBR video. I'm going to be having my TBR jar pick my December reads. I'm so excited. This is only the second month that I've picked an actual TBR for myself using my TBR jar, my TBR prompts. So I'm really excited for this. Okay, so just like I did last video, I actually picked some books that are on my priority TBR and I just sat them next to me on my little chair over here so that when I pick my prompts, I can just look next to me, shuffle through them, and then pick some options that I can share with you guys before I make my final decision. So I have all of my book options settled over here. We have some really good options. We have some new releases, we have some series that I'm in the middle of, and we just have some books that I've really been wanting to get to. So hopefully I can use these prompts to pick some of those books that I've been really looking forward to reading, and we can have a really good last reading month of the year. I can't believe it's already December and this is my last TBR for 2025. I'm so excited. So we're just gonna jump right in to pulling some prompts. So this month for December, I actually put my little TBR prompts for my usual TBR jar into this cutie little Christmas tree jar. I felt like it was very festive, very on point for December. So we have our little TBR jar prompts in my cutie little Christmas tree jar. So we're gonna pick out of here and figure out what I'm gonna be reading in December. Last month I picked 6 TBR prompts and that worked perfectly because then it gave me some wiggle room to add in some books to just kind of mood read or continue series or start new books that I just felt in the mood to read. So that's what we're gonna do again. We're gonna pick 6 books using my TBR jar, and that way I have some wiggle room to add in a few just like mood reading books. So we're just gonna jump into it and I'm gonna pick my first prompt. All right, let's go. I'm so excited. We're gonna go for our first prompt for December. Okay, let's see, what can we pick? Okay, I grabbed one. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm scared. Please be a good one. Okay. Our first prompt is a book that matches your outfit. All right, so as you can see, I am wearing this bright red little fleece and I have gray pants on. It's coming up very much orange on camera, but this is very much bright red. So let's see if we have any books with red in them. Let's go and see that. So I picked 3 options that I feel like kind of fit this prompt. I don't have any like actually all red books, but I did find some books that have red in them. So that's gonna have to do for right now. So the first one I have is The Second Death of Locke. I've heard amazing things about this book, that it's full of yearning. Some people are saying it's like their favorite romantasy read of the year. So this is definitely one I want to read soon. Then we have Insatiable, which is the first book in the Edge of Darkness trilogy. I do really want to read this series ASAP, but I'm in the middle of like 4 series right now that I really want to finish. So I don't know if I want to start another series, and like in the middle of that, I really want to finish some of the other series that I'm in the middle of. And then we have Servant of Earth, which honestly barely has any red in it, but pretty much all these books have like no red in it. So we're just going with what we can do. So out of the 3, I think I'm going to put, no, you know what? Okay, out of 3, I'm going to put Insatiable to the side for now because I don't want to start another series right now. I'm in the middle of a few, so we're going to wait on that. So we have Servant of Earth or The Second Death of Locke. And out of the 2 of them, I'm gonna go with The Second Death of Locke. I have just really heard so many great things about this book. It just came out about a month or 2 ago, so it's still kind of like a new release. And I do really like to read new releases as soon as they come out. I just really like to be in the hype of the books and when everyone's talking about them and reading them and saying they're so good. And I wanna make sure that like I don't get too many spoilers or anything. So I feel like this is still kind of in that new release hype period, and I don't want to miss that. So I am going to pick The Second Death of Locke by V.L. Bavellino for my first book on my December TBR. Okay, we're going for our second prompt. Okay, I'm scared. Okay. All right, let's see. I'm gonna try to show you guys first. Here's my second prompt. Sprayed edge book. Okay, yes, a sprayed edge book. That is easy because I have many. So let's go through some of my sprayed edge books and see which one I want to read. This was pretty easy because I have 3 releases that are all sprayed edges. So let's go through them and see which one I can pick. We have Fallen Stars by Amani Ariu. This is the second book to Heavenly Bodies. I loved Heavenly Bodies and I really want to read this. Super bad. This is more of a boring sprayed edge. It's just green, but it's a sprayed edge nonetheless. Then we have Between Two Kings. This is a gorgeous sprayed edge, okay? This is the second book that comes after Kiss of the Basilisk. Kiss of the Basilisk is like one of my favorite books of the whole entire year, so I'm very excited to read this one. And then we have Your Knife, My Heart by K.M. Moranova. I loved Leave Me Behind by her, and I saw this in the bookstore, and I just need to pick it up. It also does have a sprayed edge. It's a dark romance. I've definitely been in my dark romance era, so this is definitely an option. It's definitely between these two, and if I'm being honest, there's no questions asked. We're going with Between Two Kings by Lindsay Straub. I just loved Kiss of the Basilisk so much. I need to find out what happens in the second book. I just need to read this book. That's it. I don't even know what else to say. I just love this book, this series. I have to read this. Okay, so the second book on our December TBR is going to be Between Two Kings by Lindsay Straub. Okay, guys, we're going in for the third. I picked that one quick. Gosh, I don't know. Maybe I should have took my time with it. Okay. Hopefully, okay, now it's upside down. Book with a map. Okay, let's see what books with maps we have. So we're putting Fallen Stars back in the running here because it has a map in the front, and I really want to read this book very soon. And then I'm currently reading Red Rising. I have like 50 pages left that I'm going to read today. So by the end of today, I'm going to be done Red Rising, and I really want to continue the series. It's a series that I kind of really want to try to read back to back, or as much as I possibly can. And technically, it has a map of the solar system, okay? It has a map of the solar system. So it's not like your traditional map, but does that count? A map of the solar system? I feel like that counts. So it's gonna be between Morning Star by Pierce Brown or Fallen Stars. And I think just to play it more by the rules, we're going to go with Fallen Stars by Amani Ariu for our third book on our December TBR. This book just has more of a traditional map in it. I feel like the solar system, it's a map, but I just feel like this is sticking more to the rules, and then that way it just gives me a reason to pick this book. And like I said, I love reading new releases when they come out, and this book came out like, I think honestly like a week ago. I picked it up the day that it came out. I was at the bookstore and I saw it and I was like, oh, I need to get this immediately. So I'm very excited to be reading this in December. So we have 3 books so far. Let's go for a 4th. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm scared. Wait. Hold on. Okay, all right. I picked my 4th prompt. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna show it to you guys first. What's it say? Okay, what's it say? Book you haven't heard anything about. Okay, I don't know if I honestly have a book on my TBR that I haven't heard anything about, because I'm very much so a follower, okay? I see people rave about books and that makes me want to read them. So I don't know if I have any books that I haven't heard anything about, but I'm gonna look and see if maybe there's a book that I haven't heard a lot about, or maybe just heard like one review on or something. So let's take a look. I have 2 options for this book. One is God of Ruin by Rena Kent, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking Legacy of God series is not a book that you've heard nothing about, but I will say yes, Legacy of Gods is a very popular dark romance series, but God of Ruin individually, specifically, I have not heard much about this specific book. I've heard a lot about God of Malice, heard a lot about God of Wrath, heard a lot about God of Fury, but I have not heard much about God of Ruin. I don't really know if this is a book in the series that people like, or they don't like, or they just, you know, I don't know a lot about this particular book, so I think that counts, okay? Under the circumstances, that counts. And then we have Once You're Mine by Morgan Bridges. This is, I've heard of it. Don't get me wrong. I've heard people talk about it. I know it's a dark romance, but I haven't heard anyone talk about it in a while. And even when I bought it, I didn't really know. I maybe heard like one or two people say it's good. So this is another book that I haven't heard a lot about. So we have our two options. And if I'm being honest, this may be cheating, but I'm going with God of Ruin by Rena Kent. This, I have to continue the Legacy of God series. I just love this series so much. I've eaten up every single book so far, and I really want to continue it. I want to maybe finish it by the end of the year. Maybe read the last 3 books in December if I can. So this may be cheating, but I gotta do it. I'm sorry, I gotta do it. I'm putting God of Ruin by Rena Kent as the 4th book on my December TBR. Let's do another one, people. We got 4 down, 2 more to go. Okay. All right, we picked one. We're doing this quick. I'm not messing around. I want to get to some of these books. No need to dilly-dally. Read what it says, people. Read what it says. Book you don't like the cover of. Okay, a book I don't like the cover of. All right, I think I have a good one. Okay, so here's the thing. Once again, I feel like I'm kind of cheating on all these prompts, but I'm doing what I can with what I have, okay? I'm doing what I can with what I have, people, all right? So we have Morning Star by Pierce Brown. It's not that I don't like this cover, but it's just, I don't know, it's a little boring, okay? There's just nothing special to it, all right? And I want to continue this series, so it gave me a reason to put this on my possible TBR. And then we have Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed. Once again, it's not that I don't like the cover, but I don't love a cartoon cover. I don't know. I just don't love a cartoon cover in general. Although I know most romance books are cartoon covers, but I just like my fantasy covers better. Like all the rest of my books on my TBR are like gorgeous fantasy covers. So these are really kind of the only 2 that aren't like amazing. So we have these 2 books. And here's the thing. I'm going to read this book regardless of if I put it on my TBR or not, because there is so much hype around this book. I need to read it. I'm foaming at the mouth to read this hockey romance book. So honestly, I don't think I'm going to put this on my TBR because I'm reading this regardless. It's not even an option. I'm reading this as soon as I finish Red Rising today. So I'm going to put that to the side. I'm going to put Morning Star by Pierce Brown on my TBR so that it forces me to continue the series and keep reading Red Rising because I love it. I'm eating it up. And I really want to continue the series and finish it as soon as I can. So we're going to put Morning Star by Pierce Brown as the 5th book on my December TBR. Last and final pick, people. Last and final pick. Okay. All right. We picked it. Okay. Let's see. Our last book on our December TBR, the last month of the year. Final book on my final month of 2025 TBR. That didn't make sense, but you read it, guys. You read it. Oh, I'm scared. Don't tell me this. No. Start a new series. Are you joking me? Start a new series? I just said I didn't want to start new series because I'm in the middle of like 4 that I want to finish. And now you're telling me to start a new series? Okay. All right. Well, I think I have a loophole. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We are going to pick Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed as the 6th book on my December TBR. And I'm kind of cheating because I said I was going to read this regardless. But if I'm going to read it in December, I might as well put it on my TBR and then check off another book on my TBR. And this is a book in a series. It's a hockey romance series. It's this book, and I don't know if they're in here. Yes, okay. Yes, so it's the Game Changer series. Game Changer, then Heated Rivalry, Tough Guy, Common Goal, role model in the long game. So this is the second book in the series, but I'm gonna read this first. I have to read this book. But I know that if I eat this up and I love it as much as I plan on loving it, I'm going to want to read the rest of the series. So technically, this is me starting a new series. Because if I love this book, I'm going to read the rest of the series, which I know a lot of people are currently doing. After they read this book, they're reading the rest of the series because they really, really loved it and they need more. So technically, this is starting a new series. And I'm going to check off a book on my December TBR because I was going to read this regardless. Whether I put this on my TBR or not, it was getting read. So now we're killing two birds with one stone, okay? So here's my sixth book on my December TBR, Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed. All right, guys. I have my 6 books from my December TBR. I am so excited. I have some really good books and some books that I've been so excited to read, some new releases, some books that are just getting so much hype right now that I need to read them immediately. So let's go through the 6 books on my December TBR just to remind you guys, to remind myself. So book number 1 that we picked was The Second Death of Luck by V.L. Bavellino. Then we picked Between Two Kings by Lindsay Straub. The third book we picked for our December TBR is Fallen Stars by Imani Ariu. The fourth book on my December TBR is God of Ruin by Lorena Kent. Then we have Morning Star by Pierce Brown. And then our 6th and final read of our December TBR is Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed. I'm so excited to read. I'm like foaming at the mouth, gnawing at the bars of my enclosure for this book. I'm so excited. I have my 6 books on my December TBR. I feel like I have a really good lineup here and I'm very excited for all of these books. So it's really like I have a December TBR, but I'm also mood reading because I'm in the mood for all of these. All right, guys, so there's my December TBR. Thanks for watching and helping me pick my TBR for December. I am so excited about these books and I cannot believe that it's the last month of 2025. 2025 has been such a good reading year for me. It really was the first year that I was like a full-time reader, the first year where I was reading 10, 12, 15 books a month, and honestly, it really has changed my life. So I'm so excited to go into 2026 with just a really good momentum and really good routine of reading really great books, learning more about my personal reading style, and posting YouTube videos and TikToks and all of that type of stuff. So if you liked this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would love to have you join my little community over here. I'm gonna keep posting these TBR videos and book hauls and just different bookish content. So if you like that, like I said, please consider subscribing and joining me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!